baddest in the game.
Today I'm going to be exploring a fragrance that I'm not familiar with. Essentially, this fragrance is going to be tapping into the Latin American essence, having both dark richness and a lot of bright vibrancy. It pretty much labels it as a signature scent, and this house, Ormonde Jayne, is pretty much a new discovery for me with little tidbits of each fragrance that really intrigue me. But hopefully this one, which is type popular, can kick the door wide open for me to explore more fragrances from the brand Ormonde Jayne. Let's roll my motherfucking music so we can check out a little Montabaco Verano. Blessed morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. It's your boy, 𝐷_𝗙𝐿𝐴. So I requested this particular fragrance from Semper because I want to continue exploring more fragrances from the Ormonde Jayne lineup. They're very bold fragrances. I haven't yet figured out one that has like a mass appeal F-boy energy. They all seem to captivate some sort of essence, have some sort of story behind it, and be a little bit more on the mature side. Really striking on the artistry portion of perfumery. Ain't nobody got time for that, bro. I want some fuckboy energy. What the fuck is wrong with you? But the fragrance I requested was Montabaco Verano. Gorgeous presentation, and the notes are the ones that really intrigued me about this fragrance. So the notes start off as leather, suede, leather, grapefruit, cashmere, and tobacco leaf. So the fragrance is described to be a tobacco-based fragrance, adding a grapefruit element to add some vibrancy and vitality to the fragrance. So all that description sound uber cute and all, but is this shit trash or is it dope? Because Ormonde Jayne fragrances ain't cheap at all, so definitely Semper provides an option for you to test these joints out. I always say, if you're gonna go the Semper route, and I know some of you guys do, definitely go for more of the niche fragrances, one that you can't just simply walk into a store and test out, just for that convenience factor. But let's see if Montabaco Verano is kicking up some fire Latin American essences in this fragrance. That is all bright, super loud, ruby red grapefruit, very sour, very punchy, wildly musky, and then that tobacco leaf. How do you wrap a grapefruit in tobacco leaf? One thing I can say right off of rip with this fragrance, there is no way that this has subpar performance. The sillage off the test strip alone with those couple of sprays is everywhere in this area. There is no slack on this scent. Wow, that grapefruit is so photorealistic, and that tobacco leaf in here just gives so much earthy body. Like, I felt like you just cut the shit off. My Cuban roots are really tapping in right now, like my grandfather's tobacco fields, because my grandfather pre the revolution was actually rich, so he had a tobacco field. I feel like it's tapping into my ancestral roots over here. Okay, so the fragrance is winding down a little bit. There's also an element of incensey candle wax here that's coming off this test strip, which is not listed in the notes, but I'm not getting much of the suede aspect coming off. It's probably gonna be something I have to test.
I know the smell. That smells like ass.
On skin, just to see. There is a signature scent component here, but it does scream more summertime vibes. I'll be honest with you, the citrus here is a little bit loud and extra punchy, so I feel like as a summer fragrance, this is not gonna slack on performance at all. Is it a mass appeal scent profile? I think it's leaning towards the mass appeal artistic side. Let me let this joint dry down a little bit because it is a lot in the air, which I'm very impressed by this performance so far. And this is just initial. Like, initial generally is like, yo, give it a minute, let that shit marinate and see what kind of energy it's doing. No, this is coming out like I'm making my presence known. That must be the Latin atmosphere. Because you know when your chick starts clapping like that, whatever you did was wrong. Oh yeah, no, that shit is crazy off skin. Wow, wow, the roles completely reversed in this scenario. Now it's leather, suede, tobacco, citrus, tertiary. That's insane. Oh, that's a lot of body. That is crazy. But there is a weird rubbery note here as well. There is this kind of tire-ish component coming off my skin that's kind of turning the fragrance a little bit, to be honest with you. It's kind of making it not so great, and it's turning rather quickly. Like, what I'm sensing here is that grapefruit is really struggling to come up all the way to the top and provide the vibrancy that it did on the test strip, and that rubbery component along with the leather nuances is kind of adding like a little wrench in the whole mix. Like, it's kind of throwing it off in a way that I'm like, come on bro, don't fuck this up. Interesting. So the rubbery note is calming down a bit on the skin, which thank God, but it's still kind of hovering there, kind of turning the fragrance in a space that prevents it from being like a banger. The citrus seems to diminish diminish a good amount and it really struggles to come on top. It's becoming a just leather, suede-y, mild tobacco fragrance with just kind of like a small like burst of citrus, which is completely opposite from the test strip. That's why skin is actually the best determining factor, but there's a lot of masculinity here, a lot of artisanal elements to this shit, but it's a solid like 6.5 out of 10. It's a great fragrance. It's a handsome fragrance. It's a masculine fragrance. I wish that citrus component would actually come up a little bit more. As aggressive as it was on the test strip from the initial, I wish it would have kept more of that aggressive nature on the skin to kind of subdue that rubbery kind of note and just chill with the leather, tobacco, and suede elements on top, making it more of that sexier fact that it was portraying off the test strip. I'm with a 6.5 with this fragrance. I'm gonna give it a quarter ball spray only. It was better on the test strip than it is on my skin, but I can see how some people do enjoy this. Only a quarter ball spray. Strength! It's strong. It's very strong. Great sillage. In the air, I'm getting more citruses, but on the skin, it plays a weird game. That's kind of why this sampling shit is important. Like, just sample before you spend $200 something on a fragrance, because that test strip can be a liar. Your skin is gonna be the only way you get an honest interpretation of this scent. I always say, don't trust me, don't trust the reviewer, trust your skin. Sample first before you blow the back. I'll put a link in the description. Shout out to 𝗙𝐿𝐴 for sponsoring today's video and sending me this joint as requested. And let me know which Ormonde Jayne is like the crown jewel in your collection so I can try it out, because the house still intrigues me. But do you think Montabaco Verano is the fire or the original Montabaco? Which one really sparks an interest in your lineup? I love y'all mother suckers from the heart. Don't forget to subscribe and spray your balls accordingly. Sample before you buy, because you ain't got no money. It's fucking holiday season. Smooches.
Money folder, motor roller, slide back when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game.